Yeah, we'll take it.
How do these sharks interact with their ecosystem? How can we preserve that ecosystem to allow the shark populations to be what it is?
4 is 7 1 4.
Because if we focus exclusively on the animal, how many young it produces, and how large the population is, that's not necessarily telling us the whole story.
Tag number 3836.
I like fish. I really like fish, and sharks are just really specialized in cool fish. They have existed on the planet for 500 million years, relatively unchanged. Their buoyancy is cool. They've got big fatty livers that keep them buoyant in the water, and they've got fins like airplane wings, and they just are cruising forward.
The sharp nose, male. Total is 884.
The Institute of Marine Sciences has looked at the community of sharks here on the North Carolina coast for the last 45 years. It was one of the longest running long line surveys in the country.
3827.
We always go to the same 2 places. We fish with the same types of gear, and we fish every 2 weeks. And that is invaluable when we're talking about looking at fish populations. We're always comparing the same thing throughout time.
We know a lot about what kind of sharks are here in North Carolina. We know a lot about what size of sharks are here. We know when they come into the estuary. We kind of have a really good idea of the community. The next step is to look at how each of these sharks fits in to their community.
Total is 907.
So we've got really abundant sharks. Specifically, we've got bonnet-head sharks, black-nose sharks, black-tip sharks, and Atlantic sharp-nosed sharks, and relatively high abundances in our coastal waters. And we don't really know a lot about how they all interact. Do they share their resources? Do they have different food that they all consume? Do they play the same role in the food web?
Stretch total is 842.
That's the big question, is how do these sharks partition their environment? When you catch one shark, you get an idea of where it is at that one time. You get one data point. When you look at different tissues of the sharks and you use chemistry, you can find out things about the shark's life history. You can find out things about where the shark, what types of waters the shark lives in, what types of foods does it eat, and where it fits in the food web. The idea is you are what you eat. So you're made up of all of the foods that you consume, the water that you consume. That's what makes your body's tissues up. Liver is one tissue that we use that's very metabolically active. It has a quick turnover and it reflects what you eat very quickly. Muscle tissue has that slower turnover. It reflects what you eat very slowly. So the muscle and liver tissue, we do what we call stable isotope analysis, where we're looking for naturally occurring stable isotopes in their tissues, and that reflects their diet. And so what we do is we collect multiple tissues, and we can look at the types of diets that a shark has had over a long period of time versus a short period of time, get an idea of if it's changed, if it stayed steady, how similar is that to other sharks.
First thought is to work as quickly as possible to keep the animal safe and healthy and get it back in the water as quickly as possible. This sounds cheesy, but I'm always really grateful to be able to handle and work with these animals. So I'm usually thinking like, this is so cool.
So this is a centrum of a vertebrae, a shark vertebrae. Part of the shark's cartilaginous skeleton. So a shark, just like a tree, lays down rings in its vertebrae, and we can look at these rings and we can tell how old the shark is. And so what also we can do is, because the shark's always adding material on, that material reflects directly the chemistry of the water that the shark's in. Sharks can be considered ecosystem engineers. They control and regulate the diversity of their prey resources. They're really, really important for the food web in coastal waters.